Hey guys, Multidark Samus here, and welcome back to Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. I think. Um, yeah, this is Dual Destinies. I'm not starting on the title screen like I normally do. I decided to load up the case. Usual disclaimer, any and all spoilers will result in instant ban. Bans will be revoked at the end of the playthrough. Multi-offenders will be banned for a year. I don't really remember what happened when we left off. My memory of this case has started going fuzzy. I think it happened about the first day of the case. So let's just jump right in. So apparently the Forbidden Chamber was opened. So, oh right, we're cross-examining the mayor now. Well, supposedly.
Take that!
Huh. I was just guessing. I was like, alright, dark place. The only dark place that I can think of would be the Forbidden Chamber. What language don't you speak? And when I say speak, I refer to just stealing words out of that language and using them. Not really any level of, fluency. Well, we've reduced the noise level, and my foot itches like crazy. Well, the update should say 60% noise. Hold on. Alright. Alright. So we have joy, which I can understand. Yellow, which...
Got it!
I don't think that's it. Nope. Maybe it's the same as before. I don't think it is though. God. I didn't mean to hit that. My bad.
Got it!
That's it. Well, we're almost there. I'm not sure which evidence. Unless... Alright, so you're saying red cape. I have a theory. Yeah, okay, it's a very obvious one.
Objection!
I was wondering when that would come into play. Well, that's not red. Best thing I can think of is this. Nope. Hold on, gotta plug the DS in. Something red. No, that's not red. This is the only thing I have that's red. I need to stop second guessing myself. My only thought was blood, but it didn't add up. Why would you... Oh, from that angle it would have looked like a cape. If you were blind. Or I guess unable to process. Actually, yeah, if it looked just like that, I could see it. Wait a minute. But that contradicts the evidence. And I refuse to believe that LaBelle is that buff.
Silence!
Oh, come on now. My guess is I'm supposed to say yes, I can. I do miss my good old-fashioned penalties. I was worried I'd need evidence. The only answer. The game gave it to me.
Silence.
Oh, he's silencing me now. Maybe it's not. Did I just die? No, I guess that was the right answer. Thank you, game, for giving me the obvious answer.
Objection!
Excellent. An objection. Alright. Asking for a friend. Is it the mask? Is it the Amazing Ninetales mask? Unless it is this. I think it's that. I think it's the mask. But that doesn't make sense.
Take that!
Thank you, Techie. Also, chat isn't appearing in stream today.
Silence. Objection! Silence. Objection!
Did he just cut himself? It looks like it.
Silence. Objection!
He doesn't look very happy.
Silence.
There's one contradiction, let's see if he brings it up.
Objection!
There's one contradiction that I know of. And it's the contradiction that led us to believe it's the contradiction that led us to believe that it was the alderman who was, why am I blanking today? Who was the box thing. The Amazing Ninetales. And I'm shocked that the prosecution hasn't pointed out that we didn't find any proof that Mayor Tenma was the one who wore the mask. I'm guessing LaBelle? LaBelle. It's LaBelle. I called it. I'm really good at this.
Objection!
Oh my god. Can we take this as a confession of blackmail and arrest him for that? And then work our way up to murder later?
Objection!
I have to cross-examine him. But, or I don't know. I guess this is going to benefit us in the long run? Can I pull out my bracelet now? Just shout objection repeatedly. Ow. Well, time to try. I'm going to beat this guy and point a gun at him. Not only did I put the disclaimer through a randomizer, which, by the way, anyone who hasn't noticed, I did that, and that's why I started laughing while I was saying the disclaimer was because I couldn't ignore it, but I wrote the randomizer. I ran it through Python. I looked up how to shuffle an array in Python, converted the string into an array using the string split function, ran it through the randomizer, and then used, I forget what those things are called, but a join with a for loop using the really weird, like, array splitter thing. I don't remember. I can't ever remember what those things are called, but like, when you put the two brackets and then you put a for loop inside of it, and typically it's put in a join to generate strings. I actually, when yesterday in the stream I had mentioned that I had about 5 minutes to find some Python stuff that I wanted to mess around with. That's what it was. I was looking for a way to shuffle strings, and I couldn't find it. So I said, screw it. I knew almost everything. There was just one thing I didn't know, and that was how to shuffle. I didn't want to write my own randomization system. Probably wouldn't have been that difficult. I think I've done it before, but a lot of extra code. So yeah, that's what I was doing, was trying to figure that out. And turns out, Python's random module contains the shuffle function, takes an array, it returns a randomized version of the array, so yeah, just for my own sake, I need to know this. What are they called? List comprehension, that's what it is. One of the things that Python is really, really good at is list comprehension and generally text manipulation. Python is really good at that, because we have a specialized statement that is referred to as list comprehension for some reason. You have a statement that simplifies a for loop greatly. It does the exact same thing as a for loop would, a for loop with a conditional, but it's in one line and it's a lot nicer to look at. Not always easy to look at, especially if you put it in, with your if you put it in your join statement, then you have a join statement and a for loop, and it's just weird. But yeah, fun stuff.
Hold it!
And that is what I did. That's what I did about 30 seconds after the stream ended, was I did this. I shuffled up the disclaimer. I get bored looking at the same thing. Plus, you know, it's always good to keep that programming information in your head for in case you never get a job as a programmer. Like me. I'll probably never get a job as a programmer. IT works for me. I don't work. I don't have a job yet. Have to make a phone call. I'll do it tomorrow. I can't do it tonight. Closing hours were, I don't know, 3 hours ago. I've been holding off making a lot of phone calls I need to make. I hate it.
Silence! Objection!
But I do have this delicious unbranded peanut butter milkshake. I'm just gonna wait for the prosecutor to cut his head off.
Hold it!
I think the only thing I can do here is press. Please do. Oh, well, actually, can you wait until we get the admission of guilt from him? I don't want to lose this case before he... Or, I don't want to lose this case because you killed him too soon. You can kill him after.
Hold it! Silence!
Can I object to that statement? That's objectionable. Well, I guess I can't object to that statement.
Hold it! Hold it!
Oh, I gotta save. I have a feeling.
Objection!
I got this, don't worry. Now, if only I could get stream chat to appear in the stream. I may be taking that out sooner than I expected. Which means reorganizing my screen to have less blank space. Now I understand. That was loud. That is a true statement. Someone did say that. And of course, we're going to get interrupted. Can we take that as admission of guilt and just be done? Why is he still being a demon? Can we just cut his head off now?
Silence!
That why this game is rated M for no reason? I'm just kidding. I think the real reason is because we had an animated bleeding cutscene. We have testimony. I missed the jurist system. At least in there, I didn't need evidence to win. I just had to control someone's hand to say not guilty. Easiest case ever. I didn't even need to go through the whole ordeal. I could have just skipped to the end and pressed the not guilty button, and everything would have been great. Would have won the case. But no, I had to go through the entire thing and then go through the Mason system. Great times, though. And then finish the case, because the Mason system was not the last part of the case. Right? No, the Mason system couldn't have been, because you didn't find out about the letter until you completed the Mason system. So you complete the Mason system, go through the last, 20 minutes of that trial, and then you press the not guilty button. Or you press the guilty button and she dies. But, you know, I'd rather go with not guilty. I don't remember if I ever did. When I played through it the second time, I never went back to see any of the stuff I missed. And I was a little disappointed in myself that I didn't bother actually trying to see what I had missed on my second playthrough. Whoa, what? This is new. Do we go into logic mode? I'm thinking. Wait a minute. We never did a DNA test on the mask, did we? All we did was we looked in the mask and saw white hair. And LaBelle has been known to change his hair color. Randomly. I don't know if that's important, but... I don't know. Hand cream? Hand cream, I'm going with this. All or nothing. It won't let me pick the hand cream, so I guess I was right. I'm just gonna pick all the wrong answers because the game doesn't care. This is a much more in-depth logic system.
Silence.
Wait, when did his hair go back to being blonde? Isn't he supposed to have blue hair right now? Wasn't his hair blue during the investigation?
Objection!
Disappointed.
Take that!
Oh right, if it just washes out with water, then no wonder he keeps changing his hair color. It's as simple as taking a shower. How old is he? You're 28. 33, isn't that a bit young to have white hair? Nice animation. Confession. Confession. We got a confession, so that's a win for me. 40 minutes in, too, that's not bad. I feel kind of bad for him. Not because he committed murder or anything, but simply because immediately after being found guilty, is just, it's sad. Don't commit murder, it turns your hair white, and then you get a bunch of phone calls in the middle of court telling you that you've been fired and the deals are off and you're being sued for $1 million. You know, normal stuff that happens every time someone's found guilty. Seems like something that you would want. Wow. This man's is an idiot. So I was wondering how we could possibly have any money. I don't know if I mentioned it, but like, I think we were all thinking it. How can you be so rich and yet not have an income? If you make all these beauty products that no one else is allowed to have or use, how are you supposed to make money off of them? Is he guilty? He's found guilty. He's found not guilty. I wonder what the next case is gonna be. Also, who's throwing confetti? Where's the confetti even come from? Where did Godot's coffee come from? And where is Edgeworth during this game? Probably out playing investigations too. Gumshoe can't be throwing it from the balcony. That's not... Actually, is the anime considered canon? Because the anime does contradict the games a couple of times. But, also, Gumshoe isn't in this game, so how do we know that he's the one throwing it from the balcony? And I still want to know how Godot got his coffee. Just summoned coffee. Oops, I accidentally hit the volume knob, so that went quiet. These people are crazy. Oh right, it was one of the manuals doing it. I forgot that was canonized by the manual. Because they don't exist. Yokai don't exist, guys. Once again, is it the mask? You know me, I always ask for answers for the final parts of the game. Wait, I can actually save and retry. Huh, I actually used all of the evidence in this case.
Take that!
We're not gonna have another button. I like him. Right, this game is anime.
Nine tails fail forever!
Ken? Ugh. I know that the game is still going. Oh yeah. That'll come in handy if I remember. I remember when I was like that. And then 2 years ago, all that eating caught up with me. And there were a lot of factors that went into it. Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised that we would end up with Elden's noodles? Why is Apollo excited for this? Apollo didn't want to eat those noodles. Also, Phoenix Wright says the noodles are on him, so they better eat a lot, which would mean that he'd be spending more money, right? Which seems... Wow, why'd the stylus fall out? The stylus. Oh. Okay, don't press the skip button. God, I did it again. Oops. Did I miss anything terribly important there? I saw the important thing that was in orange. Stylus won't stay in.
Themis Legal Academy.
I can't open the
A
log.
prestigious high school with alumni in the highest echelons of the legal world.
Alright, I skipped that. Because I'm actually going to do these in a slightly different order. Spoilers? Oh, I'm so excited. This special episode comes after Monstrous Turnabout, right? I want to verify. Hey, it's too late. I've already looked at this. I'm not backing out. I'm going in. I just want to make sure that I'm going in on the right case. Alright, we're doing Special Turnabout.
My name is Phoenix Wright.
No, it's not.
Head of the Wright Anything Agency and a
No,
lawyer.
it's not.
Although,
Nope.
I was doing something else entirely for a while there.
Nope.
As for why I decided to formally get back into lawyering,
Nope.
Let's just say there's unfinished business to take care of.
Like,
Anyway,
I don't know.
I thought I'd reminisce about
He
my
interrupted
first
me.
case back on the job. And what a case it was. It happened only a few months after Athena joined our office.
Yep. Takes place between 2 and 3. So there's one major thing. There's 2 characters that I have brought up a lot, and we still have an intro. Let's watch the anime. What the hell?
Morla! He made it just in time!
What the hell? This is literally just an anime.
Oh, we be pirates, we love to sail the 7 seas. Just a bunch of scallywags who are as free can be. We swim through storms and waves.
This is what I would expect if I just went on Crunchyroll and clicked random anime. This is what I would think would pop up. Shoved inside of a Phoenix Wright game. What the hell? That was ridiculous. Oh, that was hilarious. But there are still 2 characters that I have mentioned repeatedly that I have no idea what happened to them, and one of them is in the cover art for this case. So I'm excited to see what's been going on with Pearl in the past 8 years since... Let's see, her mother died. Mother was found guilty again of conspiracy for murder. Guilty for murder, so she should be dead by now. Death penalty and all that. And the fact that she never actually had a home after Justice for All Case 2. Maybe we'll get Maya in this case. I'd be down for that. Apollo doesn't look very happy. Apollo does not look happy. Wow. Still with the toilet cleaning gag. I'm shocked. Oh good, Apollo actually has a semi-smile. Oh, now he's smiling. Is that a fake smile? That looks like a fake smile. The animation is fantastic. Oh my god. Oh, that's amazing. I thought I was done with this counter. I honestly thought that it was just taking up space. Not that clearly I have plenty of screen real estate here. I'm determined to get the chat back at some point. I've learned my lesson with trying to get the chat running while streaming. It crashes OBS. Maybe it's a promise where he gets that stupid card back? I don't know, something tells me we're not gonna see Edgeworth nor, I don't think we're gonna see Edgeworth or Franziska. Wow, I did say 8 years since we last saw Pearl. That was accurate. Oh, come on. doesn't look happy. Am I gonna have to put up with... I'm gonna have to put up with this. Oh my god. You couldn't warn me that going into this I'd have to deal with fish puns the entire case? I couldn't at least get a warning about fish puns? Oh my god, I'm gonna start doing some voice acting for this case. To annoy everyone else as much as it annoys me. Fish puns. Fish are weird, right? Have you ever thought about... I can't even get through it with a straight face. It's one of my favorite parts of how... That's one of my favorite jokes in How I Met Your Mother, is the fish list. You literally stand up there and say the names of a bunch of fish. Actually, I think it's you list the names of fish. And he looks at Ted and he's like, well, duh, it's the fish list. Not paying attention to the fact that that's literally all it is he goes up onto a stage and lists fish names and says, fish name is weird, right? He just goes through fish names. I wish we could have gotten more of that, but it wasn't important to the 10-year long plot that we got left with. How I Met Your Mother was good, though. It's good. I still like it. It's just not on Netflix anymore, it's on Hulu. Which I guess I do have a subscription to. Because Spotify wouldn't leave me alone. I know, I'm the crazy one for complaining about getting a free subscription to Hulu with my subscription to Spotify. I'm not sponsored by any of these people. How would a Spotify sponsorship work anyways? Can't play copyrighted material. Pretty much everything on Spotify is covered by copyright. I don't know, I'm sure there'd be terms of service and agreements and shit, and I'd probably have to get permission from Twitch to play the music. I don't know, just... I mean, if Spotify wants to sponsor me, I won't say no. I might say no. Depends. Back to the game. Really, Apollo? I mean, on the upside, Apollo did use the term floundered correctly, even if it was a pun. It's not like he, say, took the word no and put min in front of it to say minnow. Or blowfish your minds, which is just a dumb thing to say. That's not analytical psychology. That's called looking at the outfit. And there's stupid puns. So, who's the friend? It's the friend. Is it Trucy? It's not Trucy. You know, we've never had to defend Trucy in a trial. I hope it stays that way. I'd hate to see her as the defendant. Then she'd start kidnapping herself. That looks even worse than when she kidnaps herself for, just to buy 5 minutes of time in another trial. She doesn't look happy. Hold on. I have to do it, and now I'm Phoenix Wright, so it makes even more sense. Oh, now I feel bad. How is that unusual? That actually makes a lot more sense than some of the aquariums I've heard of. God, I really want to go to the aquarium now. I haven't been to our local aquarium in... No, that wasn't even local. That was like in Myrtle Beach. Disney World? Shit, where's that aquarium I'm thinking of? Yeah, I haven't been there in ages. I haven't been on any vacations lately either. For 3 or 4 years now. The zoo. I could really go for a visit to the zoo. The zoo. If only I had a job. No, but seriously, I really do want to go to the zoo. Not anymore. Hasn't for 8 years. I wonder if she's just trying to suck up to him. Which doesn't work when you make fun of someone's name, by the way. That sounds familiar. Like, I don't know, the red-white case. You know what I think? I think they all deserve a boot to the head. I can't remember if I did boot to the head yesterday. I think I did, but I've been forgetting lately, and yeah, fun stuff. I mean, you were an attorney 8 years prior. Wow, 8 years out of touch with the attorney law world. Attorney world, not law. You would think in that 8-year time span the law would have changed. Nope, just in the jurist system. I don't want to. Can I present my attorney's badge? You're going to say something, you have to. Yes! Techie, what have you been doing not presenting your attorney's badge to people? It's like the one thing you have to do. Since it's referenced all the time in the games, even though there's absolutely no reason for it unless you play them like I do. It's mentioned all over the place that Phoenix Wright and Apollo Justice like to show off their attorney's badge. Which, unless you're like me and you always show off the attorney's badge, doesn't make a lot of sense, because it's like, but when have I ever actually shown someone my attorney's badge? Aside from that one time that I think you had to, but I don't remember if that was real or not. Because I show it to everyone, so how would I know? I just... See, it's referenced right here that he shows it off. I try to remember, but mostly it's just... It's a running gag for me. Have to show the attorney's badge even if they don't respond to it. Yeah, well, so do you, Phoenix. Oh, well, Phoenix hasn't said that he hasn't been doing that. Guess we have to go to the... Wait. That's odd. I like that in the other cases. Other case, because I've only done one case with movement. Whales. in all fairness, the only times that I remember needing to present, the game essentially said, by the way, present this item to this person. And it was left in the notes too. So if I forgot, I'd just look at the notes and it would be like, show evidence to person, and I'd be like, right, thanks game, I would never have remembered to do that. Honestly, I wouldn't have. God, I really want to visit this place. Stop grasping for puns. Is it Fulbright? It's probably Fulbright. That's such a naked snake statement, though. I bet it would taste good grilled. This is delicious. This tastes great. That voice hurts my throat. Alright, I'm good. No, my throat itches. It's really bothering me now. Grilled chicken? Wait. Oh, it's a penguin. I was confused. Sure fooled me, I thought it was a chicken. Yeah, because you get so many people in your office. It's Fulbright. I don't know why I'm now having this problem. Apparently doing the solid snake voice. Because that's the same voice as everyone except Metal Gear Solid 5, all the snakes. Which 4 of those games actually were Solid 3. Technically 4, because Peace Walker counts, so 4 of those games were actually Solid Snake. No wait, Peace Walker was Big Boss. So not only 3 of those were actually Solid Snake, but all 4 of them had a snake. Oh. You want to show your police badge? It has a mustache. I see. What the fuck? These games will never cease to amaze me. I would never have guessed this. Now I can see the future, apparently. And I know how these games go. But this is unexpected. Granted, there was that one time when we called a parrot to the stand to testify, but then parrots can speak English. This one said hello, hello. That's it. Pretty much the entire... No, I think that was the entire cross-examination was hello, hello. I'm, shocked that you only got told no and weren't sent to a loony bin. Why does she have a mustache? The real question is, how does that pirate hat not fall off of its face? Head. Why did I say face? Oh sure, the fake mustache is what we're worried about falling off. Not the hat that floats, so every time it dives into the water, the hat would fall off? Am I the only person worried about these things? I doubt that I'm going to get a new response, so I'll show you this. I will accept that as answer. It's getting late. And I'm tired. And I still have 48-ish minutes to go. Wow, doesn't take much to change. Yeah, take much to change her mind. I need the game guide for this, the official game guide that explains how that hat stays on though, because I need an in-universe explanation for it. Now, I've never worked with water animals, or animals in general. I've worked on anything for like performance or anything, so all I know is it's wearing a hat, but you're worried about the mustache falling off. At least it got an interesting little thing in there. Alright, you're 22. You know what? It's an aquarium. I'm not that surprised that this is where... I'm pretty sure Pearl shows up. She's in the artwork. Is it a spoiler if it's shown in the cover art? So at this point, I pretty much know that she's going to show up. Didn't I just mention the parrot? I literally just mentioned the case that she referred to here. Man, that's old. That's Ace Attorney 1, by the way. So about, what, 9-10 years prior to this? This is 8 years after the end of Trials and Tribulations. Which is 2 years after the first Ace Attorney game. So yeah, about 10 years ago. Damn, Phoenix is aged. He's old. And I can't check his age in this case. Okay, in his defense, it's not that he wasn't discriminating against animals. Animals normally wouldn't take the stand. It's just that we had a parrot, the parrot spoke and understood English, and we knew enough to... Yeah, the defendant's in Orca. Of course, today is the day that Streamlabs decides not to show the chat. Yeah, but seriously, that parrot was like... The only reason he got called to the stand was because we knew that we could get it to talk and tie everything into the... tie the person we were accusing into the case. At least someone remembers names, because I don't. I miss Ace Attorney Trilogy. I really liked that case. Very hard case. Kinda long. Not as long as Rise from the Ashes, but pretty long. And nothing compared to how long some of these cases are. Granted, I've also played that game enough times to know how the cases go. Ow, my ears. That was high-pitched. I don't know, that seems pretty cut and dry to me. The Orca did it. Still laughing at the disclaimer. At some point I will put that back to normal for a couple streams, then I'll probably sort it up again. Shuffle it. Oh no, I haven't completed the main cases. I was notified by one of my mods that this case takes place between 2 and 3, so I decided to mix things up a bit and play this case before going on to 3. He told me I could. As if I have to justify my own actions. Yeah, that's really what it is that he told me that chronologically this takes place between 2 and 3, and then I verified today on stream because I didn't know how long it would take for me to get through the first one, so then when I realized that I was at the end, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna jump into this, change things up, because it's very rare that I do that. And I'm kinda glad I did, because now I get to see Pearl. Supposedly, I don't actually know, but she's in the cover art, so I'm assuming Pearl will show up. I don't think it's a spoiler if it's in the cover art. Sad goldfish. But also, playing as Phoenix Wright and seeing his first case after not having an attorney's badge for 8 years. I'm excited. But I don't have the Majutama. I hope it doesn't show up again. God, I hate the Majutama. If that's the case, then... Yeah, I was actually shocked to see that that was Phoenix Wright. I didn't even recognize him initially until he said, by the way, I'm Phoenix Wright, and I was like, what? It really upset me to see him in Apollo Justice like that. He just... God, that sprite looked terrible. And then you get the backstory, and I'm like, yeah, that seems about right. In all fairness, it all comes around and he explains, sort of. Well, it explains the beanie, the really annoying beanie, which I hated the most. That was the one part of his outfit that I hated the most. The clothes, I don't know. I guess he was even more broke than usual. But technically he didn't gamble because money was not... Well, money exchanged hands, but people paid him to play poker. They didn't gamble on the game. A very important point in that case. I'm going with drowning. Hold on. I just had a thought. Everyone likes Gumshoe better. Gumshoe is the best detective. Which is funny because I absolutely hated him. Not really, just... Gumshoe's a lot to deal with. I believe his proper title is Ace Detective Look At Me. Also the only time in the series in which Phoenix Wright refers to himself as an Ace Attorney. Now, I had a thought, and I wanted to check something, because the time period might make sense. No, this might be later. 2013? I don't know, I'll discuss it with... Well, yes, but most of these people are. But it's going to be really, really hard to beat, Christoph Gavin as the most petty murderer in history. I don't care how you try to justify it, I stand by the fact that Christoph killed someone because he lost a game of poker. And he killed some other people for other reasons, but the main thing is he lost a game of poker and so he started killing people. I don't care if that's not what actually happened, that is how I see it. Because I'm an idiot and didn't think about the fact that he had already intended to kill two people. One person. He intended to kill one person and ended up killing three. And I stand by the fact that it was done because he lost a game of poker, because that's a really funny statement. Okay, that's actually different then. This kill explanation, this orca killing explanation is a little bit different than what I was expecting, but I wanted to tie this case into something that actually happened, but I don't know the exact timeline for it, and I don't remember enough about it to try to even bother seeing how they line up, so, you know. I only played Investigations 1. I might visit Investigations 2, I'm really considering it. And thinking on it, I can kinda see the main villain for that game. I just wish that we got a localized version of 2. Which is why I wasn't going to play it, was because there was no localized version, but I keep finding information about it, I keep getting drawn into the story for it, and I'm like, maybe I should play it. I've heard the fan translation is fantastic. But Investigations 1, the main villain isn't quite as petty, but gets kinda close. They're not that bad. Objection, Investigations 1 was fantastic. I liked Investigations 1. I'm also one of the few people I know who actually likes Investigations 1. Granted, I think the reason why I like it is because the last case has a lot of questionable jokes. That's not police negligence. I mean, technically it is. This isn't fair, but also, it's an animal. We can breed more of them. I'm a terrible person. I should know, GLaDOS once told me that my test results confirmed I'm a terrible person. Yeah, if you ask Techie, he will tell you that he felt that the game dragged and he never actually beat the game because he felt that the cases were slow and boring. And I played the game and I was like, this is fantastic and difficult. But I did really enjoy the game. And then I played the last case and I spent most of that case laughing because there was a lot of really fun stuff that they said. They said some great stuff in that case. So I may do Investigations 2 on stream. If I do get around to it. And if I do that, I'll probably... Well, I'll do that after I finish Spirit of Justice. Because I'm not entirely certain if I will. Interestingly enough, I did Investigations... I believe I started Investigations after I played Phoenix Wright 1. Or it might have been after my save got deleted in Phoenix Wright 2, and it took me about 4 or 5 years before I beat Justice for All again, because I don't know what happened. I really just, at some point I had the save, and then it disappeared. And I was on the last case, I had just started the last case, and I was like, I don't want to play through the game, and playing through it again, I'm reminded why I felt that way. Justice for All is, in my opinion, one of the weakest titles. I hate most of the cases. I don't like most of the witnesses. And I really just... I love Farewell My Turnabout. Farewell My Turnabout is... Honestly, that case is fantastic. I loved it. Getting up to that required me to go through to Turnabout Big Top. And Turnabout Big Top has my least favorite... Turnabout Big Top has my least favorite people in the series. I couldn't stand them. And that's probably the main reason why it took me 4 years to revisit Trilogy and actually finally beat Justice for All, so I could get the Trials and Tribulations, because also a fantastic game. Second case... Right, second case wasn't too bad. Here's the funny thing about Justice for All for me. There are 4 cases, and I feel like I can't remember any of them. Yeah, it's the start of the Majitama. That case is alright. It's not as bad as Turnabout Big Top, and Turnabout Big Top, for whatever reason, is the main reason I hate that game. 1 case out of 4. And the introduction case isn't that great. It's not the worst. But it's also not the best. And Trials and Tribulations is a really fun game. And sad. I hate beating Trials and Tribulations because then I have to read all the text that goes into what happens after. And I'm just like, but I don't want it to end this way. Obviously, we set her free. Set the orca free, and he steps in. Yeah, God, Trials and Tribulations just... It brought all the lore of the games together, and yes, it neatly tied it up in a very dark and depressing manner. I love the game, but upon beating the game, it hurts. Because now, one of my second favorite prosecutor is found guilty of murder. And it really upsets me, because when I first played it, I didn't like him. I kinda thought he was stuck up and arrogant. And then you get to the last case and realize that his reasoning's, well, not fully accurate or necessarily good. He wasn't a bad person, he just was misguided. But yeah, that last case. You spend 3 games trying to figure out what happened to Misty Faye. Technically... Wait, hold on. Yeah, actually... I can't remember if Misty Faye gets brought up in the first game, but you spend at least 2 games wondering what happened to Misty Faye, as her storyline is important in Justice for All. And then she dies. Last case, and you finally find you finally get the answer to the mystery. Okay. You get the answer to the mystery of Misty Faye, who has been missing for years, and... Oh, right! DL6. Yeah. I forgot that she was, important. I had just remembered after you said she's definitely brought up that she was part of the DL6 incident. Yeah, you spend 3 games being like, what the hell happened to her? Only to find out after she's been murdered that she's Misty Faye, and then you're just like, well, that's a way to wrap it up. Mystery solved. Sorry, Maya. And Pearl. Poor Pearl. I feel so bad for Pearl. I could just keep going on this tangent, but at some point I do have to get through this case. Not tonight. I don't have enough time to... I probably won't even get to the trial portion of the case tonight, but... I'd argue that defend Orla in court and find the real killer are the same, but that's just because that's been how these games go anyways. To defend someone in this really weird trial system from Japanica, to defend someone means pinning the blame on someone else and proving it was them. Otherwise you'll lose, so I'll say this. God! He just won't leave me alone. He wouldn't leave me alone. Like, I just want to set the orca free or find the real killer, and he's like, nope. Also, orca, whatever. Oh yeah, this reminds me that I had a link of the comparisons between this and Trials and Tribulations objection. I love this song. Yeah, I'm still working my way through Dual Destinies. You know, I'm 11 streams in, and I'm only on the third case, and this isn't even the third case. I'm literally just sitting here listening to this because I love this song. I love most of the music. These games have a lot of really good music. That's good, because if you did say something, I'd have to ban you, and I'd feel really bad having Techie banning you. Because in our short amounts of communication, it's weird to actually have someone in chat talking to me who isn't my moderator. I don't know what that was. I said moderator, but it seemed weird. That was a weird one. That was just weird for me because I said moderator, expecting myself to say mod, and I kept going through with it, so to me it just seemed weird that I kept going. It was like, am I mispronouncing something? I think there was a slight slur in that, but I don't know. God, I love the music in these games. But, and you're free to call me crazy for this, I think Cornered 2001 will always be my favorite, Cornered theme. My favorite song from this series. I agree, and that's why I'm so strict about spoilers. I take a risk every time I look over at the chat to see a new message, but you know, there was this worry that, like, setting up for streaming these games was a huge worry for me, because my issue was, well, pretty much, I wanted to go into these blind. That's why I didn't do Trilogy, and I didn't do Investigations, and I didn't do them because I'd already played through them twice for some of the games. And so I felt like my ability to commentate with them would be hindered by the fact that I already know everything that's going to happen. It would just be me playing through a game and knowing everything. But these games, to do a really good... Yeah. But, you know, with these games, I feel like the best commentary is going to be someone who's like, wait, what? I can't believe that they would do that in this game. And to me, that's fun. And halfway through Investigations, I realized I should have been streaming it, and then I got to the last case and was like, I should have streamed this game. Because that last case had some great stuff. But I decided to go with Apollo Justice to start off the series, and I had been mentioning the fact that I was going through Apollo Justice. I had been mentioning I was going to do Ace Attorney for a bit, and I got super excited to do it. I just wanted to get through everything else first. So I started with Apollo Justice and got through that without a hitch. Took a week off from Ace Attorney to stream one other thing because my schedule got all screwy. And then I got back into this. And yeah, I can't imagine trying to stream these knowing what's going to happen. And there's one good thing about not having an active chat, and that one good thing is you don't have to worry about spoilers. And the next series that I plan on streaming, I'm not worried about spoilers because, spoilers don't matter as much. I've seen through most of my family's playthroughs of those games, and I'm playing through it on my own. Just getting myself hyped for something that won't happen for another year because I have to get through Spirit of Justice. I am super excited to actually do a collaboration stream. Although I don't know if it's considered collaboration stream if the other person isn't streaming. But, you know, it'll be the first, not really the first time I've streamed with someone else, but it'll be the first time I did a cooperative playthrough with someone on stream. Aside from that one time when I did Mario Kart. but that wasn't cooperative. It's actually fairly rare that I stream while playing a game with someone else. I tried to convince him to stream, but due to his system limitations and network limitations, we pretty much determined that it's unlikely his internet would be capable of playing the game online and streaming, and he's running on a pretty decent laptop. It's capable of running the game perfectly fine. In fact, I'd argue that it runs better than this desktop I put together myself, but I also made mistakes with this. So, you know, I don't blame him for not streaming. And I don't mind, it just means that anyone who's interested will only have my stream. Not that anyone shows up ever, but you know. Yep. Hey, I have AMD integrated graphics, and to get smooth frame rate, I run it at full screen. That's not true. I actually do run it in windowed mode at a medium resolution. Primarily because running games at full screen, with the fact that I have a dual monitor setup and enjoy switching over to Discord to respond to people. Some games don't like that, like Portal. Portal breaks if you do that. If you're an idiot like me and you click out of Portal during the ending sequence, you end up losing the song. The game won't play the song anymore. That was a fun end of a stream. It was a fun stream. But also, great ending to a stream. I'm like, yes, I get to listen to this song for the first time in a surprisingly long amount of time. And then I forget what I did. I think I tabbed over to Discord, or I tabbed over to something else to do something, and I don't remember what it was, and I lost the song. It wouldn't play. And I was really, really disappointed. He has a good theme. Also, I'm really glad that Techie let me borrow his 2DS XL to stream these games, because Apollo Justice was it was fantastic, and a laggy mess that ran at 20 FPS. It would have been great, except Case 3, during Guitar Serenade, it ran at 20 FPS. So what's supposed to be about a 45-second song turned into a 2-minute song. And it was just... And you know that you have to watch through the Guitar Serenade at least 3 times in that case. So every single time I had to watch that video, the game would just slow. And I was like... Yeah, when I finally replayed it on a DS, I was like, this is so much nicer. I can listen to the song infinitely and not have to worry about the fact that it's taking me 2 to 3 minutes to get through this and I can't skip. And then you have to go through it in court. And watch it a couple of times forcibly. I mean, it's a good song, and I enjoyed that sequence. I enjoyed that case a lot. But when you're playing on a totally legitimate system that is not overclocked properly, it's kind of hard to play. Plus, that game lagged out at pretty much any animated sequence was lag. Just outright lag. Just for the sequence with the noodle stand where they take the noodle stand and they rotate it, that sequence right there ran at about 20 FPS too. Just sitting there watching a very bland and boring 3D model rotating. It wasn't as bad in the first case where you had to actually move the models in the room and where it showed the animations. That one didn't lag quite as bad. But some of the parts... Oh, and the better part is going into... when I had to go into the examine evidence, and certain things just wouldn't work. The noodle stand was one of them. Such a complex model. Sitting there trying to rotate the thing while the game is like, no, please don't do this. Please stop. I'm shocked that at no point did I ever build the... I'm completely shocked that I never did have a counter for how many times I complained about the FPS or the CPU. I think that's one of the streams I complained about the CPU overloading several times. If you do stick around and watch my streams, you'll notice there are some topics that I repeat a lot. My CPU in this machine is one of them. It should be better now, but it's not. It's somewhat better from when I moved from the other operating system, but it's still nowhere near good enough for what I need, which is something that can actually stream and run, I don't know, say SNES 9X? What do I normally use for SNES games? I don't remember, but... I just thought about it and, there's some stuff I'm going to have to stream between Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice because I like to keep up with the Metroid construction contests, and there is a contest going on. I think it ends in August. So I have until August to finish this game and not start the next game. Didn't I already have the notes tutorial in the last case? Didn't I already have this tutorial? Also had that tutorial. How do I... Yeah, I did get through the monstrous... I got through the monstrous turnabout. Oops, I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. What? How do I... So what? I know, I saw something that interested me, and then Phoenix Wright was like, maybe if I got a little bit closer. So then I was trying to figure out how to get closer, and it wouldn't let me, and I was like, well, that's pointless. I really don't have time to be getting into the investigation at all. And with that, I now want to play Endless Ocean again. Wonder how well that would run on my PC. Probably not very. Although it might be doable with mouse and keyboard. I do miss Endless Ocean. Fun game. Also kind of boring. I'd probably prefer Endless Ocean 2 though. Oh good, I have a whistle. That's gonna be important. Unless it turns out to be the stupid detonator button. I'm still mad about the detonator button. The detonator button is the reason why I failed the first case. I was so determined to find a use for the detonator button, I ignored the most obvious issue. And got really mad at the game for not being more obvious. It never once occurred to me that what I was trying to prove, so you know, you go through the proof that he committed the murder before the trial ever happened. And so, at some point you're prompted to prove that he was trying to hide something. That there was something worth hiding, so my thought was the detonator button. The one piece of evidence that hadn't been used up to that point. It was the body. I never thought about the dead body, I just thought detonator button. It had to be used somewhere, and it was used somewhere. As a reference to the fact that it was never used anywhere. You present it at the after trial part. You show the detonator button when prompted. Isn't there one thing that you never used and we will probably never get an answer to? And I'm like, fucking detonator button. I hated that thing. I have enough time to investigate something else, I'm sure. Here, I'll investigate this seemingly useless piece of meat? Where's the piece of meat? Am I blind? Alright, this has to be good. There's gotta be something good here. That is true. I'm still thinking about... Oh right, so she said that she wanted to take it on as a lawyer, and so my first thought was, I need to call this prop to the witness stand. I'm accusing this prop for being the murderer. It's the octopus. Can't even joke about that, because I already joked about... I pretty much solved the first case just after about 5 minutes of playing, and just offhandedly mentioning that it was all a ploy and that Christoph Gavin and Phoenix Wright were working together to murder Shady Smith. And lo and behold, Christoph Gavin turns out to be the murderer, and I was just like, that was... I wasn't right, but I wasn't wrong. I had the situation wrong, but I had I named one of the murderers. The only murderer. And I laughed at that because I was just like, I didn't even intend for that to be where that... I had no idea that Christoph would have been the murderer. I just wanted to say something so ridiculous that it would be funny. And I think it turned out funnier that I was right, accidentally. And now I've taken to just guessing how these cases end, and I'm pretty good at it, surprisingly. I figured out it was LaBelle after meeting him the first time. And then was disappointed when he wasn't ever called to court. And then realized that I didn't have the evidence to pin him to the case, aside from just, I know it's him, it has to be him, there's no one else it could have been. I'm just wasting my time. I'm telling you, it's the octopus. The octopus is the murderer. God, if that turns out to be true, I don't know what I'll do. I mean... Alright. I also did the same thing for the first case in this game, when... As soon as the bomb disposal guy came to the stand, I was like, it's him. But also the concept art for that case showed him as the biggest character and right in the middle of everything, so I was like, obviously it's this guy. How could it not be this guy? But LaBelle, I apparently missed something very obvious at the introduction of the second case, and didn't even realize that he was brought up at the start of that case. So it wasn't until I first saw him that I was like, it's him, it's LaBelle, and I spent that entire trial saying, it's LaBelle. I probably annoyed a lot of people with my repetitiveness. I like this idea, actually. I do too. Capcom. Can we please do this? While you're at it, can I stop having to go to Google Translate to translate sentences that didn't translate very well into English? It's funny to see sentences that just make absolutely no sense, and I have a lot of trouble figuring out what they're actually saying, only to toss them into Google Translate, translate them to Japanese and back, and get a better statement. Unfortunately, it's 2 hours, it's late, stream's over. I've never been good at doing outros. Google Translate solves all of my problems with this game. This statement makes no sense. You're just throwing a bunch of words together and this sentence doesn't mean anything. It doesn't amount to anything. Google Translate, what is Capcom trying to tell me? Toss it into Google Translate, go from English, Japanese, back to English, get an actual sentence that makes perfect sense. I don't remember what the last one I did with that was, but it was fun. So yeah, I'm a little disappointed that I didn't get too far into this case, but also I had a lot of fun. Monstrous Turnabout, definitely just a complete mess. And they still haven't told me how she got into the chamber if it was locked from the inside. Well, you know, for anyone who hasn't seen any of my outros because I stopped doing them, I stream weeknights 8 to 10 Eastern Standard Time. And all my streams are uploaded to YouTube. I'm not gonna link my Twitter. You have to work for that. You gotta work for a completely useless account that doesn't have anything on it, because stream notifications, which you can get by following me on Twitch. Wink. I have to say wink, I don't have a face cam. Anyways, that's gonna do it for tonight's stream. So thank you, Phoenix Affinity, for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, good job. I didn't just waste, like, an hour of your life. Probably a little bit less than that. And if you didn't enjoy, then I probably just wasted an hour of your life. Alright. I will see you next mission.